Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Chris's No Bull Gear Reviews. Today, we're going to be looking at something that I use every single day, sometimes 10 to 12 hours a day, and it has literally changed my life. It is the DOUK P1 headphone amp. Let's do it. Okay, just off the top here, this is not an audiophile channel. I am not a hi-fi expert or any of that, but I am, in my past, a musician and a vocalist, so I know what it takes to make good music, and I know what it sounds like when I hear good music. So I am looking at this 100% from a subjective standpoint. If you're looking for objective stuff, how clean the amp is, things like that, you need to go somewhere else. I'll link somewhere up here to very good places to go if you're looking for in-depth reviews of hi-fi gear or objective and subjective reviews of headphones and amps and things like that, so you can get that content. This is not the place for it. Okay, with that being said, let's talk about my feelings around this amp. First off, just to say that I did, I'm going to throw up all of the specs here. I'm not a spec person, but for some of you that will help you make an informed decision, so I will add it right here. The most important things to remember here is that while this is a tube amp, it's a hybrid tube amp, the stage of this amp uses tubes. It is not the tube amp of your grandfather or your father, or if you're as old as me, your own youth. It's not going to have that warm, beautiful tone that all tube amps have, but it does, in my opinion, tend to round off the harsh edges of digital music, and because it has a very capable DAC in it, you're able to listen to lossless and high encoded audio from Spotify and Apple Music, which is what I use, and it really is beautiful. I have terrible headphones. That's the next thing I need to do, is find good headphones. But even with my terrible headphones, the difference is immediate and startling when you use a decent headphone amp, opposed to just plugging it into the back of your computer. Speaking of the amp itself, it uses a well-respected chip set from Texas Instruments that was all the rage in the 80s. So it's, even though it's older, it's a quality piece of technology. It uses the NE5532 chip, which was in a lot of audio gear and some hi-fi gear even in the 80s. It's fallen out of favor from the high end, but that just means that those of us who don't want to spend more than a couple $100 on something can get the benefit of that. For connections, it has USB, RCA, and Bluetooth, and it's Bluetooth 5 with the high quality streaming codec, aptX HD lossless support. So if your phone or your computer or your device supports that, you can actually use that with this amp. Also, just from an aesthetic standpoint, it's not the most beautiful amp I've ever seen, but it blends into the background. It's fairly understated. You can turn off the wacky LED lights for the tubes themselves, which they glow because of the filament inside already, so I don't really know why that's there, so I have mine turned off. But if you like orange or blue, you can flip that switch and turn it on. For me, what really matters at the end of the day is that for not a lot of money, you get a solidly built, well-designed, well-appointed piece of kit that changes music for you for the better. It is not the best headphone amp on the planet. It is not the cheapest headphone amp on the planet. It is not the most powerful headphone amp on the planet, but what it is reliable, dependable, and it sounds really great with the right music and the right headphones. I don't use it for this, but it also can be used as an amp within a stage system. So if you wanted this to be a preamp or just add some more power to your setup, there are RCAs in the back that you can use that for if you want to do something like that. So right out of the box, it sounds great, but if you want to dial it in, it does have tone controls. So you could up the bass, manage the treble, things like that. And it has a bypass switch that allows you to flip between the toned if you will, sound from the amp and just the natural sound. And I find sometimes with some music I want a little bit more low end, or I want to dial the treble in a little bit, so I have it set to what I think is good, and then I flip that tone control on when that type of music comes on, and then flip it off when I don't need it. And it's very easy to do. Very nice toggle switches. The only gripe I have from a build and finish, fit and finish standpoint is the horrible, disgusting DOUK Audio P1 hi-fi label that's on the back of it. It's just horrible. I'm going to remove it so it's just clean and black. And then the knobs themselves are cheap and plasticky. I think they feel like they're really cheap metal, but they're just terrible. And so I'm probably going to replace those with higher quality knurled knobs that are a little easier to handle. But those are small gripes for something that has been consistently day in, day out, sometimes 7 days a week, a workhorse for me, and has sounded great every single day. The stock tubes it comes with are pretty cheap and not great. I upgraded mine to a matched pair of better tubes for this type of experience, and you can do that as well. You can find different tubes that lend to different qualities and color music differently. I went for a neutral tube set, but one that's way higher quality than what shipped with it. And once they burned in after a couple of days, you can really, again, tell the difference in the music, and that's what I wanted. Someday I might get a much more expensive. There's a couple of completely tubed headphone amps that I have my eye on, but I mean, they're $700-800, where this was, I think I paid on sale $120 for it out the door. So cannot complain for it. If you're looking for an inexpensive, high quality headphone amp that makes your digital music sound a little bit warmer and a little bit like what you remember from being a kid, I cannot stress enough that this is a perfect fit for that. If you're looking for something that is super clean, super high end, and has tons of bells and whistles, then this probably isn't for you. But then you wouldn't have been in the market for an amp this cheap anyway. So I don't think that is a big deal. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I just wanted to do a short, sweet, to the point video for a piece of gear that I love and I use every day. And I hope that if you grab this, that it makes your day a little better too. Links to everything to buy it will be in the description. They will not be affiliated because I don't do that. But yeah, I think that's it. If you have any gear that you think I should look at, knowing that I like no hassle, inexpensive gear that just gets the job done, please let me know, because I'm always looking for something new to feed my tech gear addiction. That's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video, where we cover another product from the same company that is powering my turntable addiction recently. So I look forward to that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.